year after the pandemic began, Freeman Hospital is closing its COVID-19 unit.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announces the state will be moving into phases 3 and 4 of the vaccination plan starting next week. I'm Chris Warner with how health officials in southeast Kansas feel about the move.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin's Freeman Health System has discharged remaining COVID-19 patients and is now closing down its medical COVID unit. This is KOAM News at 6. Let's go live to KOAM reporter Bronte Sorotsky with the latest.
It is a big day here at Freeman Hospital. Declining coronavirus patient numbers had led staff here to close their medical COVID-19 unit after their last 4 patients were discharged yesterday. While they still have 3 patients in their COVID-19 ICU, closing the medical COVID unit will allow them to free up beds for other patients who need them.
It's an exciting day here at Freeman. Today we are decommissioning one of our COVID units and doing terminal clean so that we can start receiving other patients, and we have a lot of patients in the community out there that need to be here in the hospital.
They say in case the need arises to take in more COVID patients again, they will keep equipment and infrastructure in the unit in order to meet those needs. Live in Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Okay, Bronte, thanks. Let's check in with Doug Hetty now for our first look at the weather. Hi, Doug.
Hey, Dow, a fantastic day for us today. Most of us up into the mid-70s during the afternoon. Plus, we haven't had very much wind. We still are going to be light for about another hour and a half. So a good evening to get outside. But, of course, we got changes working in. The winds, thankfully, aren't very strong. They're picking up a little bit. We got southeasterly winds at about 10 to 15. That's what we're going to have throughout the overnight hours tonight. We have a lot of clouds. These are mid and upper level clouds, but these are increasing ahead of our next storm system. If we look out toward the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, we're going to have thunderstorms rapidly blow up over the next few hours, and those are going to head east toward us later on tonight. Through the evening, we're okay, but after midnight, showers, thunderstorms increasing, especially after 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of these are going to pack a pretty good punch, so we're going to break this down for you and look at this entire storm system here in just a bit. All
right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announced yesterday the state will move into phases 3 and 4 of the vaccination plan starting next week. KOAM's Chris Warner spoke with officials in Crawford and Bourbon counties about that plan and has more.
With the governor's announcement combining phases 3 and 4 and the state entering them next week, local health officials were excited.
We think it is time to move forward, and we're so excited that the governor decided to. We felt like we were coming to the end of phase 2.
I think we are ready, and we've been ready. I think the whole state is ready. We have been getting lots of calls in the county and then also in other counties across the state.
However, it presents a challenge to the Crawford County Commissioners. On March 5th, the commission rescinded their health order, removing some business restrictions. The commission also decided at that time to keep the county-wide mask mandate in place until the state entered phase 4.
Our health officers had discussed waiting until the completion of the 3rd phase, since at this point, I don't think we're in a spot that would make sense to do that.
The combined phases means there won't be a completion to phase 3 ahead of phase 4, and Commissioner Jeremy Johnson says, on advice from health officials, they're going to keep the mask mandate in place for now.
We do not want to rush that process. I want to make sure that we are truly in a place of safety before we're saying we're going to take out all of the safety precautions that we have in place.
The Southeast Kansas Multi-County Health Department, which encompasses Allen, Anderson, Bourbon, and Woodson counties, held a vaccine clinic in Bourbon County on Tuesday, vaccinating those eligible under Phase 3 ahead of schedule. But Administrator Rebecca Johnson says there's a good reason.
We weren't seeing the people or the numbers that we had hoped to see, and we had vaccine ready, so we wanted to open that up if we had people wanting the vaccine so it wouldn't go to waste.
In Crawford and Bourbon counties, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Phases 3 and 4 in Kansas include everyone with any medical risk, not just severe ones, ages 16 to 64, and all critical workers like agriculture and food workers, utility workers, and others. With all the changes popping up due to COVID-19, we know you have some questions and we have some answers. Joel sent in this question. He wants to know, where in Crawford County can we go to get a vaccine? Well, there are a number of places in Crawford County to get a COVID-19 vaccine. Those include the Crawford County Health Department and Walmart Pharmacy, both by appointment only. Also, Lindbergh Pharmacy locations in Pittsburgh and Mathis Drug in Girard. You can find a detailed list of vaccine locations on our website. While you're there, you can ask a question yourself. We've provided a form on our website for you to fill out some basic information and pose your question. You can find the form and vaccine locations at koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. The Area Agency on Aging is helping Joplin area seniors registering for a vaccination. Tomorrow, representatives from the agency will be at the Joplin Public Library to help seniors register. That'll be from noon to 4 p.m. tomorrow, again at the Joplin Public Library. They do ask that people wear a mask while at the library. A proposal to require all Kansas public schools to offer every student full in-person classes by March 26th failed today in the State House. Some lawmakers complained that it would take too much power away from local school boards. The proposal would have overridden a few local school districts' decisions to wait longer to reopen because of the pandemic. The Senate President, Ty Masterson, an Andover Republican, pushed for the mandate, and his GOP-controlled chamber approved it earlier this month with no Democratic support. Still ahead, Pitt State President Steve Scott reflects on leading a college through the pandemic for the past year, and a Kansas judge says police did not have pertinent information about the drunk driving arrest of the Kansas Senate Majority Leader. The past year, all of us have been navigating new territory. The pandemic has thrown wrenches into pretty much every well-laid plan. It was a unique challenge at universities like Pitt State. On March 13, 2020, students were sent home early for spring break due to shelter-in-place orders. A year later, the university has students back on campus. University President Steve Scott tells us it was never easy, and teamwork helped university leadership figure out how to tackle issues caused by the pandemic.
Decisions we're making and the challenges that would lie ahead, I'm not sure I could have gotten out of bed every day and faced that, because every decision was followed by another decision. And each decision seemed like it was more complicated, not less complicated. But with all the assistance, all the partnerships, everybody doing their job, all in all, we had a pretty successful year.
This year's spring break was moved to the end of the semester, so students are not traveling and then returning to campus, meaning coursework will end on May 7th, a week earlier than usual. A judge has ordered the release of a Kansas Senate leader from jail in Topeka after finding there is not enough evidence to support his arrest. Hours earlier, on suspicion of driving under the influence and attempting to flee from a law enforcement officer. Majority Leader Gene Solentrop was booked into the Shawnee County Jail just before 4 this morning following his arrest on I-70 by the Capitol Police. But a Shawnee County District judge ruled only hours later that a Capitol Police officer's report did not include pertinent information about the arrest and ordered Solentrop's release. Severe storms in northeastern Kansas yesterday spawned at least one tornado that damaged some homes and downed fences and tree limbs. The National Weather Service said on Twitter that law enforcement reported a tornado touchdown yesterday near 199th Street and Switzer Road in rural southeast Johnson County, south of Overland Park. About 20 homes had roofing and siding damage. Video shows minor structural damage and other debris on the ground. Doug Hetty is up next with his complete forecast. And later, an Oklahoma girls basketball team that just collected one big win is looking for another after an announcer referred to them using a racial slur.
Well, it's turned out to be a pretty good day for us today. Temperatures fantastic, mid-70s, 4 highs. The wind's not that strong, but we are going to cool down quite a bit as we go into the next several days, especially by the time we get to about Thursday. Outside right now, we're in the mid-60s in our northern counties. Everybody else mainly sitting low to mid-70s, so a very nice evening on tap for us. And again, the winds they're not very strong. We kind of have a southeasterly wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Looks great from the station looking off toward the east, currently sitting at 73, south winds at 12, humidity is low at 35%. Through the evening hours, we'll slide back through the 60s and only down to about 55 later on tonight. A lot of mid and upper level clouds have been increasing over the past several hours, and this is going to continue as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight due to the storm system which is developing out to the west. You can see it right across parts of New Mexico. A big chunk of energy is moving out into the central plains, and with it, we're going to start to get showers and thunderstorms really popping up, especially out across the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. And all this moisture is going to head toward us as we go into the overnight hours for us tonight. So let's go through time. Clouds thicken. We're going to stay dry, most of us, until about 2 o'clock in the morning. Showers and thunderstorms will increase in southeastern Kansas and then everywhere else, mainly after 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. These will continue to work through during the morning hours, and some of these could be strong, maybe even low-grade severe. I think the best chance for anything severe tonight would be late tonight on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. So mainly 2 a.m. to about 7 a.m. Main threats, hail and wind, tornado threat would stay low. So after this first batch rolls through, mid to late morning tomorrow, we'll break out, we'll see partly sunny skies. In the pattern, this is the same system we had on January 30th, and we did the exact same thing. We had a band of rain in the morning, saw a little bit of sunshine, then we had severe weather pop up during the afternoon, and that's most likely what's going to happen tomorrow afternoon. This is mainly going to be along and south of Interstate 44. Very hit-and-miss little storms, but the ones that do pop up could go severe. The main threat, again, hail and wind, and most of us will go into the mid-60s for highs. So we'll start at 55, 64 by noon, high temp is 68. Now by tomorrow evening, we switch to northerly winds, so any severe threat would quickly decrease, and then we just have showers really stick around all night long. We drop back through the 40s, eventually into the upper 30s, and then by Thursday morning, a little bit of light snow could mix in, a little rain-snow mix as we go through Thursday morning. So severe threat for tomorrow, this is going to be tomorrow afternoon. I think a short window, noon to about 4 p.m. I'll keep tornado threat low. Let's elevate hail, wind threat low, and elevate rain. Again, this is mainly southwestern parts of Missouri and a very short little window, but we'll have to keep our eyes on it tomorrow. 68 for a high, only 45 on Thursday, back to 55 Friday. The weekend looks pretty good. We're going to be into the 60s. Rain moves back in late Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
It'll be nice to bounce back to mild weather for the weekend after a bit of cold in the meantime.
Yeah, the weekend looks pretty good.
Thanks, Todd. Hey, a reminder, you can be the first to know about today's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, the Oklahoma girls basketball team that was the target of a racial slur used by an announcer. That team is now state champions. We're going to hear from the team about the incident and what's next. The girls on an Oklahoma high school basketball team called a racial slur by a sports announcer are now state champions. And they're speaking out about why they took a knee during the national anthem. Jerika Duncan reports.
We never would have thought, wow, this would happen to us.
Kaylin Simmons, Shantae Embry, and Millie Roberts say their team was in shock when their coach shared the news.
It was just blank stares.
The Norman High School girls basketball squad had taken a knee during the national anthem all season in an effort to bring awareness to racism and social injustice. But on Thursday, an open microphone captured sports announcer Matt Rowan berating them with a racial slur.
That just goes to prove the point that this is why we took a knee.
In a statement, the NFHS network, which broadcast the game, promised an investigation, saying that it cut ties with the third-party crew involved and adding that it firmly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination. Rowan did release an apology, but blamed the rant on his type 1 diabetes, writing, "I do not believe that I would have made such horrible statements absent my sugar spiking."
Just real ugly.
Civil rights attorney Mike Lowe and Ben Crump are representing the team.
We're demanding that the regulatory authorities of the Sports and Athletic High School Association in Oklahoma publicly condemn this racism.
And the Tigers.
The girls took home a state title Saturday, celebrating one win, now fighting for something bigger.
We just want change within our community, our state, and our country. And that change is going to start with people holding other people accountable.
Jerika Duncan, CBS News.
The Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association, which oversaw the basketball tournament, released an apology as well. They also cut ties with Rowan, saying this kind of behavior will never be tolerated, and promised to make further comments pending an investigation. A final check on the weather is next. We take time now to honor a local Operation Iraqi Freedom veteran. Specialist Jason Loden served with the 891st Engineer Battalion. He's from Fort Scott, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Specialist Jason Loden, a four-state hero. Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady wants to hear from the public, and that means you if you're so inclined. He took to Twitter and posted a video where he actually gave out a cell phone number. We know a few fans who probably have some choice words for the seven-time Super Bowl champ, and Brady says he's expecting some of that.
Sometimes it gets hard to sort through the "you suck, Brady" in the comments. I know there's quite a few of those over the years. It's usually from the Jet fans. But to be clear, if you do text me "you suck," yes, I'll see it, and I may or may not respond.
Wow, Brady has 1.8 million followers on Twitter. You can hit him up at 417-612-1737. Again, that's 415-612-1737. 415-612-1737. That's the number he gave. Is it really his main personal number? No, probably not. But like he said, he's going to be checking this one and responding, at least to some of them. Jordan Nobby joins us now with a look at what's coming up on our sister station, KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, we're going to have more reaction to Freeman Hospital closing its COVID unit because of declining patient numbers. Also, archaeologists discover fragments of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the first ancient Bible texts found in 60 years, and how one otter in the windy city of Chicago will be forever connected to Nintendo. That and much more coming away tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Thanks, Jordan. Now let's check back with Doug for a final look at the weather.
All right, Dow, the rest of the evening hours look pretty good as we slide back through the 70s. We are going to continue to see the clouds increasing and then showers and thunderstorms increasing, mainly on the Kansas side late tonight after 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then everybody else 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of these could be strong. Of course, we'll have the latest on this tonight at 10.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, to stay up to date on the latest news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. Just like that weather app, it doesn't cost a thing. It's free of charge. It's in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. It's very simple to do. All you have to do is search for the KOAM News app. If you haven't downloaded this yet, might as well do it right now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.